I never expected all of this to end with Joshua David Evans seemingly leaving the internet forever. Okay. Um, yeah. So Josh recently put up a video titled This Is Goodbye. He has deleted all of the videos he's been posting. He deleted his Instagram, I believe, and he is saying that he is leaving the internet. We're going to talk about this video a little bit. It's only a few minutes long. It's very how do I describe it? It's a little cheesy, I guess, a little sappy. The video starts off talking about his history on YouTube, that sort of thing. It's basically just a PowerPoint set to some sappy music. He talks a little bit about himself, about being online, and then he gets into the Adam McIntyre documentary stuff again. He says, recently I was in early talks about participating in a documentary and nothing was finalized. It seemed genuine and worth considering, so I reached out to Adam in good faith and received no response, which was totally fine. Okay, a little interesting that he's saying it's totally fine because that was a big point of contention before, that Adam hadn't responded. Okay. Not sure if he changed his mind or if he's just trying to present it in a certain way now, but either way, all right. It all changed and caught me completely off guard to see him talk about it so publicly and so negatively. We were still in early off record conversations, just exploring ideas, nothing set. Watching something that small be framed so confidently for thousands and thousands of people was unsettling, and I reacted from a place of confusion and hurt. I let my fear take over and I said and posted things I shouldn't have. I went too far. I was rude, especially to Gavin. Okay, here he's going to apologize to Gavin. And while I'm glad he apologized, I do think this apology was a little bit shady towards other channels. Let's see what he has to say real quick. I spoke to you out of anger and panic instead of remaining professional. My work life and my private life collided and I didn't handle it well. You didn't deserve that. What I said wasn't true and I should have never said it, and I believed in you from the start and still do. If anyone should benefit from this entire chaotic situation, it's the one person whose work actually brings something positive to this world. That's you, and I mean that completely. I think that's definitely true of Gavin's content, that it does bring positive stuff to the world. When you combine that comment with everything we know about Josh and how he feels about drama channels, however, it does feel like a little bit of a shady Gavin does content that brings positive things to the world, and drama channels are still a net negative on the world, which I personally don't really agree with. I view it in a similar way to how I view gossip, and plays a part in how we interact with society, how we interact with each other. People always view gossip as a sort of woman's thing and view it through a misogynistic lens, when of course men also gossip, so the whole thing is a bit silly. I do think he takes this sort of high horse position where he tries to act like he's better than drama channels, when in reality, I just don't think that's the case. But I also am just not someone who likes to compare content like that. I think people make different kinds of content for different people. That's really as simple as it is. Next, he starts talking about Studio 71 and his job and career post YouTube. It does seem like he got fired, which is not surprising given everything that's happened. I suspected that would be the case going forward, that Studio 71 would let him go. I will say that sucks. That is unfortunate. Things are definitely not good right now. The economy is awful, in large part thanks to the Trump administration's decision to start a war with Iran. That being said, Josh proved to be not particularly good at his job and was letting his own personal beef with Adam influence how he was treating his clients. At some point, you do have to make the call. I do sympathize with Josh in that regard. That is definitely rough. And it does seem like he and his wife are struggling financially at the moment, and especially with having so many cats and so many pets, I suspect that that is difficult. As somebody who is also struggling right now, cough cough, you can donate to my Ko-fi down below. I can't help but sympathize in that regard. He talks about how he now sees the documentary and being a YouTube manager in a different light. He feels like he forced himself to stay connected to YouTube, to the YouTube world. I do believe him when he says that. I think it's pretty obvious that he felt sort of obligated to stay engaged in YouTube to some degree, even when his heart maybe wasn't in it anymore. Ultimately, the video is a bit woe is me, I won't lie to you. A little bit of a pity party being thrown as a send-off for Josh. There's definitely been a lot of accusations of Josh using his mental health to manipulate the situation, and I do agree that he has done that. There is a part of me that always tries to be fairly empathetic, that tries to be fairly understanding, and tries to give people the benefit of the doubt. So there is a part of me that wants to just believe that Josh is really struggling with his mental health and maybe he doesn't quite realize all that he's been doing throughout all of this, but his behavior has been harmful. It has hurt people. And I don't want that to be forgotten just because we're recognizing that a lot of this is coming from him being in a dark place. Obviously, none of us really know Josh, and he owes us nothing. However, if you're going to use your mental health as an excuse, and you're going to emphasize that your actions are a result of your mental health, I don't think it's completely insane for people who you are making that excuse to, who you are making that explanation to. In this case, it is the YouTube audience. I don't think it's crazy for some of us to expect Josh to do something about his mental health, to get some help, to seek out the resources that are needed to make progress on moving past this. I'm not saying he has to come back and give us his, medical papers or whatever. I don't need all that. I do just hope that Josh takes this time away from the internet, away from YouTube, to work on those feelings that he's dealing with because I don't wish that on him. I don't wish him to be in this deep, dark depression. I myself have struggled with depression. I still struggle with depression. I don't wish it on anybody. I just don't. But I also don't think that this being about his mental health should overshadow his behavior. He does still need to accept those consequences, which it does seem like he is accepting those consequences. He lost his job, he lost his client, and he's taking a step away. He's taking a step back. And I really don't think that there's anything else more that we could ask for at this point. Maybe a better apology, one that wasn't so much of a, shady comment to the drama channels, which I still think was unnecessary and a bit stupid on his part. But ultimately, there's not much more I can ask for from Josh in this situation other than to go get the help that he needs. When I look back, I don't see someone who set out to hurt people. I see someone who tried, someone who cared, someone who created from his heart and sometimes got it wrong. See, now, this part probably not necessary. If you were going to be doing an apology to Gavin, it should have just been an apology to Gavin. It's possible his apology to Gavin should have been an entirely separate thing, to be honest with you. At this point, I do think it probably should have been an entirely separate thing from his goodbye message. This goodbye message is getting a little bit woe is me, a bit please pity me. We don't need to do all this. If you understand you fucked up and why you fucked up, then say you're sorry and leave it at that. I'm sorry is a full sentence, That's a full thought. I'm sorry, Gavin. That's a full thought. You can end it there. And then you can do this whole, I'm leaving the internet forever. Goodbye. Goodbye. You were brighter than the whole sky. Some people aren't looking for truth. They're not looking for context. They're not looking for you at all. Who to be mad at, who to expose, who to root for. Every channel feeds off of each other. And in that space, trying to be seen is already a losing game because the intention was never to see you in the first place. So another obvious jab at drama channels. I've made my point clear here on how I feel about this continued taking shots at drama channels. I think it undercuts his big apology to Gavin. It undercuts his big I'm leaving the internet point. I think it really undercuts any positive feeling one might take away from this. If you were going to take away from this video that, oh, Josh is going to take some time away, he's going to maybe get some help, maybe he'll come back someday in a more positive headspace, maybe not, but either way, his mental health will hopefully be doing better and he'll be in a better space overall. I think the constant jabbing at the drama channels just undercuts that entire point. It means that you are now going to take away from the video that Josh is still bitter and angry at drama channels because he blames them for everything. And I do think this criticism of drama channels is kind of old, it's kind of vapid. Like, it's the big 2-6. Have we not evolved past that? I think we can have a more nuanced, deeper conversation about drama channels at this point, right? I'm not saying they're above criticism, but we can have a better conversation, I think. And then more reminiscing, he's really trying to paint himself as this good old country boy who just wanted to make a video and wanted to have fun on YouTube. He just talks some more about how he was a kid and wanted to make videos and he's grateful for the time he had, blah, blah, blah. But you're a grown man now. You're an adult. Handle this situation like an adult. Please. I'm exhausted. This will probably be my last video on this, especially since this will probably be Josh's last video on this, I hope. I mean, if he's actually leaving the internet, then this should be his last video. Thanks for being on the ride with me. When you're given the chance to choose a better way, try to choose it every time and forgive yourself when you don't. That's the goal. Get back up. Do better, try again. He's like a motivational poster, man. He's like that keep hanging on motivational poster with the cat. Forever and always, be nice to people, be nice to yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then that acronym. I don't know what this fucking acronym stands for. I'm not a Josh fan. If you know what this stands for, let me know in the comments down below. So that was Josh's big goodbye video, and really, I don't have much else to add to it other than what I've said throughout the video. I hope Josh gets the help he needs. I hope Josh is able to move past this stuff with his dad, these feelings that he has still, and I hope that he's able to get to a better, healthier place overall. I also hope that people don't necessarily just forgive and forget when it comes to everything that he's done here. If Josh comes back to the internet, I don't think this should be held over his head or anything like that. But if his behavior does not match up with somebody who's done the work to change and to grow, then I do think we should all at least just, keep this in the back of our mind. Keep this whole situation in the back of our mind. Something tells me deep in my gut this is not going to be the last we see of Joshua David Evans, and I do think we should all just maybe keep in mind how he behaved through all of this. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to fucking say. If everything goes to plan, this should be at the end of my video talking about Josh's big goodbye video, but we have one last thing we need to talk about. Apparently Josh made a post on YouTube, and first thing I notice when I go to his channel, this new banner image of his that says, currently viewing this channel, parasocial dementors, former fans, drama, gossip creators, I guess that's me, algorithm victims. Grown-ass man, dude, man in his 40s. Are you fucking kidding me? I had such high hopes. I was really hoping, really wishing the best for Josh at the end of his I'm leaving, goodbye. I was thinking maybe this man is finally starting to understand the situation a little bit. He's starting to take a little bit of accountability. This post kind of cancels that out a little bit. We're gonna go through it. I skimmed it a little bit, and there are already some things that bother me. Like the very beginning of this post, he starts off talking about Adam. After seeing how the internet is responding to everything over the last couple of weeks, I wanted to make myself clear about what I choose to leave as my final words. Cue eye rolls from Adam and those like him. And those like him, what does that mean? You talking about drama channels? Like, what are we talking about? As for Adam McIntyre, I stand by every single word. I was naive enough to trust him. This is someone who went from being a teenage bully to pretending to be an ally to spending years maintaining what I thought was a consistent understanding of mutual respect and casual support. To be completely clear, I never agreed to be in a documentary. I wasn't trying to make a comeback, and I didn't want to make YouTube videos again. I was living a quiet life. All I did was have 3 entirely off-the-record conversations with some people who were potentially considering a project. I was excited about it. And out of pure courtesy, I reached out to Adam privately to ask if he wanted to be a part of it. If he had just told me it was a bad idea, I would have listened. I trusted him. We would have talked it out, and none of this nightmare would have ever happened. Okay. This nightmare would have never happened if you hadn't overreacted to Adam mentioning the documentary in a video about Rachel Ballinger, which I still have no idea how you even found. Josh saw people in the chat guessing it was him, and he reacted and outed himself. There was no clear, concise connection to Josh. This all happened because Josh couldn't handle people speculating that it was him. Instead, he chose to completely ignore my message behind the scenes. He took that private courtesy, flipped the entire script, and decided my real life was better used as malicious content. I sat there like an idiot, utterly dumbfounded, watching him rewrite our entire dynamic in real time. That's just not true. Like you're just lying at this point. Like this is just a lie. He's still just lying about Adam, and I think that's really fucked up and unfair. What kills me is the sheer duplicity of it. Back in 2020, he reached out and apologized to me for everything he did. We didn't become best friends, but we absolutely made amends. Okay, so already showing that Adam is a seemingly better person than you are because when he wronged you, he eventually reached out and apologized, which you have still yet to do. We were chill like that during the height of the Swoop documentary in 2023, but from that moment on, it felt like a real shift. It wasn't just online support. We finally met in person, he introduced me to his mom, and we all got together after the dust had settled just to connect. They had gone out and grabbed a plate of light snacks like fruit and veggies, and none of us touched it because our nerves were running so high. Soon after, he made a video playfully laughing about how we didn't eat the food. And I even commented back to apologize and say we were all just incredibly nervous. We were casually friendly like that. It was real, it was respectful, it was safe. So how do you go from that to a live stream pulling a complete 180? I don't think what Adam did was a complete 180. Obviously, I don't have the full picture. I don't have every facet and interaction that he's ever had with Adam. But from what I have seen, from what I understand, it does not seem like Adam going on the live stream and mentioning offhand that somebody reached out to him to do a documentary, didn't say who it was, maybe alluded to you just a little bit, but not enough for any concrete conclusion to be made. And then you turned around and had a very visceral reaction to that. I don't think that's Adam doing a 180 at all. He hopped online to publicly shade me and the people I love for even considering that project. And when that wasn't enough, he kept making videos, doubling down day after day, entirely intent on destroying my character. That was when he brought up VidCon, throwing it out there like some final proof that I was creepy the whole time. He told his audience that I pulled him away from everyone, insisting we had to go outside, and then talked his ear off for an hour. Anyone in their right mind knows I'm not the one to say, let me grab you and pull you away from everybody so I can talk to you alone. I was there for work. I saw him, tapped him on the shoulder, and thought we ended up having a really genuine interaction that day. I never asked to leave the group we were standing with. You were the one who suggested it, Adam. You said, let's go outside, not me. The way he depicts it now is insanely immature and manipulative. Oh my god, this is such a long message. I just don't care. I really don't. You were leaving the internet. You had to have the final say on everything. So here you go, Josh. Here's you getting to have the final say. Are you happy? Are you content? Is this what you wanted? Oh my god. The way he depicts it now is insanely immature and manipulative. I could sit here and dissect every single little thing you went and made videos about after this whole documentary fiasco that you created. I don't think Adam created this. I really don't. It would have started and ended at that one video if Josh hadn't had his reaction. If there hadn't been continued interactions from Josh. I could pull apart every single lie and tell the real side of the story. The side where things didn't happen the way you claim, but you sure want your viewers to think it did. So why don't you? Why are you doing this long-ass effort post? Why not show some receipts? Show some interactions that you've had with Adam? They couldn't have all been in person. Some of them had to have been over the internet, online, through messages that you probably have saved. Adam brought his receipts, so why don't you? If you're going to do all this yapping, if you're going to do all this talking about it, you need to just bring something to the fucking table. Adam has brought receipts, he has sat down, he has made videos. Josh, all you have really done is delete everything you posted, including your Instagram, and then make this long ass post saying, nope, things are different than you've depicted it, but I'm not going to actually show any proof to support my claim here. I'm just going to say, you have depicted it in a way that is false. Well, I don't know for sure that he has, and overall, I'm more inclined to trust Adam than I am to trust you, Josh. So if Josh wants to have people believe him in this, he needs to support his claim a little bit. Show something that shows that Adam is this manipulative liar that you claim he is. All of a sudden, after years of being completely cool, you rewrite history because that is what Adam does. The exact moment he thinks what you are doing doesn't fully align with what he wants, he makes a note of it, and eventually you just become content. I broke when he decided it was okay to drag my wife and my childhood best friend into his fictional narrative. I am human, I reacted, I defended the people I love. You brought them into it. We saw the fucking email. And because I dared to act human, I am sitting here jobless, watching the entire world dunk all over my name like hyenas tearing at bones. Sir, okay, you are jobless, not because you decide. I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to blame everybody else for him losing his job. Maybe Gavin does make the video finally. We don't know for sure. It's entirely possible that he gets to a point where he's at his wit's end and he makes the video. I think that perhaps the stuff with Adam and Josh really lit a fire under him. But it's possible that he still makes the video eventually, and Josh still loses his job. But ultimately, if Josh were good at his job, if Josh were a good manager, if he were good at what he does, that's a point in his favor when they consider whether or not to release him, whether or not to fire him. Josh was not good at his job, and he was a liability, so they fired him. Now to Gavin reads it all. I know I've already said this, but I want to apologize here publicly too. I signed you because that was my job. The 90-10 contract split was discussed openly and entirely agreed upon over multiple discussions. You were only 2 months into a 12-month agreement when the internet drama with Adam started unfolding, and you decided to respond by dropping a novel of complaints, trashing everything I've ever done. This doesn't sound like much of an apology. Why are you kind of shitting on Gavin in your supposed apology to him? A few days later, I responded to you without empathy and became rude. I said things I fully regret, but I was human, Gavin. I felt like I was getting hit from every imaginable angle of my life, and I snapped. This is not a fucking apology. You don't get to be like, I was human. I'm so sorry, but I was human, okay? I was just having a human reaction. This is your fucking client. This just goes for anybody who's trying to keep a fucking job, okay? But even personally, as an actor, even when I am doing community theater, we have a fucking rule of leaving the baggage at the door. You go into rehearsal and you leave all of the outside shit at the door. You don't bring that shit into rehearsal with you. You don't let it affect how you are interacting with your fucking castmates. Are you shitting me? This is ridiculous. You don't get to have your personal behavior affect your job and then turn around and be like, I'm the victim here. I was getting attacked on all angles. Please, Gavin, okay, I'm sorry, but also I was being attacked. Holy shit. It's getting worse. Like I didn't think it was gonna I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. How much more of this is there? There's still so much more. Oh my god. The snap cost me my livelihood. You took my response, made a video blasting it, and turned it into content. Let's be real, if I had been any other corporate manager, someone without a public history, without a target on their back, without years of drama attached to their name, you never would have made that video. I think that's unfair. I think that's an unfair fucking claim to make because I think it's entirely possible that Gavin, in the situation he was in, if he was still unable to get in touch with Studio 71, he would have turned to his community to make a video and try and get the information out there. That is just kind of what YouTubers do when they are in situations where they are out of options. They tend to turn to their community for support because they know that if they can amplify the issue, if they can get attention on it, then they might be able to get it resolved. Everything that happened with Adam just sped up the process. It just lit a fire under Gavin's ass and made him really get into making this video and posting it because he saw everything that was happening and he realized that your behavior online was affecting his career. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god, this is actually worse than the goodbye video. The goodbye video had elements of this, but this post is worse. Holy shit. I never stole from you. I don't think he ever said that you did. Your channel has been fully released and your funds have been sent. I wasn't even the one receiving the small percentage of your funds in the first place, but I do remember our channel optimization discussion when I told you that you needed to find viral moments and somehow tie them back to your book channel so those views would trickle down and help build your audience out. Well, I'm glad this predictable mistake of mine was able to give you that exact viral moment. He's so obnoxious, dude. I don't feel any ill will towards you. You sure? Because it seems like you do. It really seems like you do, man. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit of ill will towards Gavin. Your reaction was human too. You were put in a terribly bad situation, and you absolutely don't deserve any hate or negativity from me, and yet he's getting it anyways. The truth is, the company acquisition happened, and we just weren't able to give you all the resources I so badly wanted to give you. I genuinely believed that in a few months' time, we would have reached a place where we could have done something great together, but we never got there. I'm truly sorry for my part in how it ended, but I've always believed in you and your content. Go rock your thing, man. I wish you nothing but the best. I don't believe you. If your opinion of me comes from watching gossip channels picking my actions apart, reaction videos, and people who only know weaponized fragments of my life, nothing I write here will change your mind anyway. Your level of consciousness isn't capable of receiving this, and I accept that now. Your level of consciousness isn't capable of receiving this high level message that I am trying to transmit to you, human. What the fuck? You exist within a frequency that only you can change. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Josh likes to pretend like he's so above drama channels and commentary channels, but from what I understand in the past, he used to engage with them, especially during his divorce. Either way, it's just a shitty position to take. I don't like people who think they're above other people. I really think that's one of my kind of gripes. I really hate it when people have this arrogant air about them, this elitism about them. I really don't like it. It's a bad look, Josh. I am no longer auditioning for your forgiveness, and I am done participating in a game designed to destroy a person's sanity. This isn't a dramatic exit. Joshua David Evans is over. That's what you got rid of, that guy. Feel free to roll your eyes again, but existing here isn't for me. I am walking away quietly to build a life that has absolutely nothing to do with this platform, this name, or this version of my existence. The people who actually know me don't need a comment section to tell them who I am, and a sea of parasocial parasites don't get to dictate who I become. For anyone that reads this, days from now, maybe years, be someone who sits in love and stillness when the world encourages you to join the chaos. Be better because you can. Be better because they choose not to be. Alright, a few things I want to say here. I didn't form my opinion on Josh through drama channels, through the lens of other people commenting about him. I formed my opinion on Josh by looking at the things he was putting out into the world. Through the Swoop documentary, which he still tells people to go watch, and through his own behavior. And the picture I have is of somebody who is kind of petty, thinks they're better than other people based on the content they put out, even though he doesn't put out any content at this point. Can't seem to apologize properly without also taking shots and shading people in the process. A grown-ass man who seemingly has not actually learned from his mistakes. That's what I see when I look at Joshua David Evans. So like I said before, I do hope that he leaves the internet and is able to find some peace, find some comfort, but my hopes are a little bit lower than they were before. After reading this post, it seems like he still thinks that Adam is the problem. Adam is the one who is responsible for all of this. He even took some shots at Gavin. I feel like he was really shady to Gavin in his apology, like even shadier than he was in the original one. I'm not a fan of it. I think this was a disaster on all fronts. Hopefully this is the last we have to talk about Joshua David Evans, at least for quite some time. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna cut to the outro now. Okay, I'm a little taken aback. Just to round all this out, because I was editing my video, going through, getting screenshots and whatever that I need for the video, and Josh has now unprivated all of the videos he posted. But not only that, this thumbnail and title for the video that he posted a few days ago with the cats and everything, the video where Joshua David Evans addressed Adam McIntyre's betrayal and true nature. This is a grown-ass man. I cannot stress enough. I cannot stress to you how this is a 40-something-year-old man. Late 30s, 40, I think he's 42. Either way, far too old to be doing all of this. Adam is in his early 20s. I'm sorry, if you are this bothered by somebody who is like half your fucking age, you need to go home. You need to go home and work on yourself, which we already knew. I just honestly was a little bit shocked that he unprivated the videos, but also has this new thumbnail and title. Oh my god. Also, fuck him for unprivating the video after I edited and released my last video where I had to just like throw up a picture of my cat because I couldn't get the screenshots I needed. Awesome. Thanks, Josh. You really fucked me over there, but you guys got to see my cat, so that's cool. And then he's got this is his description now. Basically just, peace out. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Now I'm really going to send you to the outro. I have to just throw this in here right before the outro because this is so stupid. If you like this video, I really do appreciate you making it this far. Be sure to leave it a like, a comment. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers and we are slowly ticking up. So if you want to help me make that number go up, please do hit that subscribe button, hang around. I've got other videos. I talk about a variety of things from internet culture to politics to video games to whatever the hell I feel like talking about. I'm sure to touch on something you care about eventually. Stick around. Other than that, I have some links down below. Like I said earlier, I have my Ko-fi. You can donate there. I also have some Sudan donation links you can check out. They are currently experiencing the world's worst humanitarian crisis, and the Western media is largely ignoring them. Aside from that, I have my socials, my Twitter, my Twitch, whatever, and that's pretty much all I got for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. Please do take care of yourself. Free Palestine, and goodbye.